Woo! Okay. Woo-wee! What's up, Jets fans? Here we are again. Different week. Yet again. This is a good sign. It's a good sign. We're talking about different things every week, are we not? These are exciting times to be Jets fans. What's up, everybody? This is Greenbean. Welcome to episode 49 of Greenbean's Jets Pod. I'm happy you're here. Hopefully you've settled down a little bit. If you saw the stuff that's being written, being said, boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, is it crazy out there. We're going to get into all of it, man. We're going to talk about C.J. Mosley, little Fletcher Cox action, maybe a little Robert Saleh, some Zach Wilson, some Gardner Minshew, who I've been calling Minshew for years. It's so bad, I can't even stomach. It doesn't feel right on my face when I say Minshew. It sounds dumb, but that's his name I saw. I've been calling him Minshew. I like to say that. As a matter of fact, I think I'm gonna. So we're going to get into Gardner Minshew. We'll get into some Denzel Mims, some Austin Walter, Elijah Riley. We got all sorts of good, fun, deep, gooey shit to talk about today. And we're going to get into all of it right after I remind you about the contest we have going on right here. We're getting down to the witching hours, and it's slowed down. I need to be picking it up again, guys. To enter the contest, all you have to do is to hit subscribe right here on this very channel. And when you're done doing that, just go to YouTube's Full-Time Coaster Tour right in the same platform and hit sub there, and you are entered. Once I get to 5,000, I'm trying to do it before my 1-year anniversary of December 27th. Once we do that, we will give away T-shirts from the GreenBeanjetsfan.com merch store, as well as the Ultra Smooth package from Manscaped. Who doesn't want Manscaped products anymore, huh? It's become a part of our sphere of consciousness, has it not? We can thank Matt O'Leary and Ryan from Jets Talk 24/7. Don't forget, if you're going to order stuff from Manscaped, use Matt O'Leary's code JETS20 and save 20% and get free shipping. Don't you dare order from Manscaped without saving yourself 20% and reminding them that Matt O'Leary sent you. It's the way to do it. The next thing I want to remind you is that going into Christmas, there is nothing better to buy your loved ones than sports memorabilia. We have a link right at the top of the description of this video. That is the link you want to click for sports memorabilia, sportsmemorabilia.com. Every purchase on that link helps this channel, and if you buy more than $50 worth of stuff, free shipping. That link will take you directly to the Jets page. You'll see right there all kinds of awesome stuff, but it's not just for the Jets. It's for every single sports team in the world. So you can definitely find something for whoever your sports fan, family, and friends are. You'll be able to find it there. And again, it helps the channel. And if you want to help me even more, you can support me on Patreon, Patreon exclusive content. We also have the Discord, early releases, all that kind of stuff. And the link to that is in the description as well. And I greatly appreciate it, man. It allows me to keep doing this for you. If you feel like I add any value, you decide how much that is. Support me on Patreon. So we played a game. We played a game against the Eagles. The New York Jets are 0-11 going into this game against the Philadelphia Eagles. Can you imagine? What is that crap? I was ready for a win today. I got to be honest. I got to be honest with you. I thought we were going to go in there and win. I don't know why I thought it. Honestly, because we have yet to give me 2 straight wins since 2019. So why would I think it? You know what? I thought it. That's the way that it goes. I watched this game with a whole mess of you guys on Jetnation's live stream. We hung out together. We consoled each other. We rah-rahed at certain points. We did it all. And we watched yet another loss, which is not easy. It's not easy stacking these losses like this, right? We haven't seen consecutive wins. We've seen consecutive losses. The good news is this is not one of them. So what is it? What happened today? What did we see? What did we see this week Now, the initial backdrop after this game is that people need their heads to roll. That's where we are as a fan base. Heads gotta roll. Heads gotta roll. It's time to cut loose and make examples of people, just like the Carolina Panthers did with the kid that lots of people wanted to be our head coach this year. Remember that? Now, I'm never rooting for anybody to lose their job or anything like that, but this is what I said about Joe Brady down there in Carolina. He's never done anything. Now, he might be great. He might be the best offensive mind we've ever seen. I don't know. But the one thing I can tell you is he's never done anything. He was the passing game coordinator for one season at LSU. One season. Passing game coordinator, not offensive coordinator. All he took care of was the relationship between the receivers and the quarterback. And yes, he added to their offensive play calling. He was a part of the brain trust. That's good. He helped. But he didn't run anything. Matt Rule took him over for Carolina. Everybody says it's going to be great. And then we're interviewing him for head coaches. I don't get it. So I'm glad that we didn't go that way because he's not even the offensive coordinator over there. Now, was he the guy that should have gotten fired? I don't know. Seems kind of maybe Matt Rule's looking for some scapegoats because this is what Matt Rule did down there. He came in, said, hey, how you doing? I'll accept your 7-year, $10 million per year contract. That's what he got. And he cut Cam Newton, signed Teddy Bridgewater to a 3-year, $63 million contract, cut Teddy Bridgewater, or traded Teddy Bridgewater for a 6th-round pick to the Denver Broncos while paying his $17 million contract, then traded 3 picks for the 32nd ranked quarterback in the NFL, who subsequently failed and got injured, which is par for the course for our boy Sammy Darnold. We know that. It's par for the course. Then he went out and he cut the guy that he stole from our practice squad or from waiver wire, James Morgan, and he signed his original quarterback back to the roster, Mr. Cam Newton, who is flamed out, and they fired Joe Brady. Sound fun? Did I get that right? So that's how that's gone. So here we are for the Jets. We lost 33-18. 33-18. Positive spin. This is 3 weeks in a row. We haven't given up 40 points or more. Ha-ha! You see what I did there? 3 weeks in a row. We haven't given up 40 points. I see progress right there. But seriously, 33-18. What's the breakdown? When you look at that, if you just look at it like so many people will look at end of the year numbers and think they've learned something, you don't know the story, you don't know the story. But there's a story. Now, what is the story? What is the story of this particular game this week? The New York Jets versus the Philadelphia Eagles, who are now 12-0 against our franchise. What's the story? The story is this, and I'm going to break this down for you, okay? You might not like some of it, but I'll break it down nonetheless. I've now looked over the game. I've looked over some clips. I read the stat line. I looked at this. I watched some interviews. I got it all in, and I said, you know what? I see something I didn't see just a few hours ago. So Zach Wilson comes out after last week, and a lot of Jets fans complained about last week because we didn't win in the way that we wanted to win, which is, I don't know. I'm not really sure. I heard a lot of different stories. Me, I was happy with the win. Yes, it was the Texans. We can complain about playing 2-8 teams all we want, but don't forget, we were 2-8 going in there. So I don't know what we're really talking about there. If we expect ourselves to be held to a higher standard of the Ravens and the Patriots and all, that's not us. The Texans, that's where we are. We beat them with 18 unanswered points. We pitched a second half shutout, and we did that after Zach had an atrocious first half. Atrocious, sloppy, yucky, silly. All those words you can use to describe Zach Wilson's first half in Texas. Then he comes in to halftime, comes out a different person, 18 unanswered points. Not elite, but 18 unanswered points, and the defense held them, and we won the game. Now, this week, we were all talking about Zach Wilson, that he looked calmer suddenly. He just kind of like popped through this weird imaginary hymen, like just popped through. And he's like, hey, I'm a quarterback in the NFL. He just seemed collected. And we thought that all week. And he goes into the game, and what does he do? He gets his first opening drive touchdown of the year. Guys, come on. So our boy does that. And then we lose the momentum because of the infinite wisdom of our staff. We brought in competition for Matt Amendola, who, when I heard the name of the guy that we brought in to compete with Matt Amendola, my honest thought, I didn't talk much about it. I didn't need to. It wasn't a thing. My only thought was, okay, this guy's here to shake up Matt Amendola. Put him on alert. Put him on notice. Your job's in jeopardy, kid. Now snap out of it. But what do we hear? Matt Amendola's cut and Kessman wins. So, okay, he must have really impressed him. Comes into the game after Zach Wilson's first opening drive touchdown of his career. And he shanks the kick. The point after attempt. He shanks it. So he comes in the game and he shanks the point after. He shanks it. Okay. Jitters. First game. A lot of pressure. But you know what that does. It takes the positive buzz. It just takes the edge off. It wipes the foam right off the head. Poof. You know when you get a good pour of Guinness, there's that nice thick head. Something that and blew it off. You go, hey, man. I mean, it's still a Guinness. You know what I mean? You're okay. You didn't ruin the whole thing, but dude, come on. Don't do that. Still a Guinness. Still a touchdown. But so the Eagles go in and they drive right down. Boom, 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 bop, bing, bom, score. Five plays, I think it took. And it scored. And the issue is that their kicker did not miss the point after. So now, even though we both did the same thing, they're up 1. So what do? Zach Wilson can't possibly do that again because that's not what he does. He's going to be rattled. And he comes back out. He drives us down. We score another touchdown. Oh, my God. We're looking at Zach Wilson's best game, best opening of this career. This is fantastic. There were comments in the chats on the live stream today that said, this is what we thought we were going to see with this offense. Elijah Moore, Corey Davis, Denzel Mims, Crowder, these guys, Berrios. We thought we were going to have the ability to score points. It took a while to get there, but here we are. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns, 2 missed kicks. Now it's not blowing the head off of our Guinness. Now somebody picked their nose and stuck their finger in our Guinness. And you're like, dude, you know what? This guy's not allowed in. Get him out of here. And that's what they did. They kicked Kessman out. When Zach Wilson came back on the field to score his 3rd touchdown in a row, we had lost all confidence in the kicker, which does what? Not only does it take the momentum away, take the buzz of the touchdowns, because we're going back and forth now, yet falling behind. Now we have to go for 2, and that adds stress. It adds tension. The offense that just came down and scored 3 consecutive touchdowns, sorry, now you have to do it again. You have to get in the end zone again to be 1 point down, even though you've done the exact same thing that the other team has done. Do you see? You see what's happening here? So those enjoyable moments of Zach Wilson's finest first half of football in his young career, this was our best opening game, are ruined because of this mistake that they made with the kicker. And I don't care. He should not have been out there. That's my 2 cents on the matter. But he was. And so this is where it starts to erode. Now, defense is having trouble. They can't seem to stop the Eagles. Gardner Minshew is running wild. Okay? And here's the thing. We go into the half, I think it was 24. Let's take a look at this. 24-18. So that's 6 points back. right? Is that what it is? Yeah. We're down 6 at the half. We would have been down 3 at the half if we just would have made the point afters. But we're down 6. Now, if you listen to the crowd, it would make you think that the defense was sliced and diced all day. Now, and I'm going to be honest with you, I thought so too. But the truth is, they let up 24 points in the first half, and they stiffened up and let up 9 in the second half. 3 field goals. That's it. Now, people will tell you the Eagles stopped playing. They had the lead. Baloney. So I'm not happy with the defense, but saying that they didn't make adjustments, that they didn't stiffen, it's simply not accurate. It's not true. So they stiffened and held the Eagles to 9 points in the second half. If we would have not even duplicated offensively the first half, we win the game. But we did nothing. We had a tough third quarter. The third quarter was really where it all went to hell for us, because it was just sloppiness. Now, the Eagles only scored 3 points in the third quarter. 3. They held the ball forever. We only got 3 plays in the third quarter. So that's what I'm talking about. We went up in 3, down in 3, punt the ball. Man shanks the damn punt, 32-yard punt. So you see, like it starts to happen. It starts to erode. And that's when the penalties started to come into play. Now, I will make mention that Zach Wilson was hit numerous times today. Late, falling on him, like the full body fall on thing that's illegal. Not one call. So I'm getting a little tired of talking about this, but what I'm really tired of is the fact that we have to continue to watch this. Why is our quarterback the only quarterback in the entire NFL that does not receive quarterback protections? Why? I would like to know. But it's nonstop. Last week we got a call because his helmet was taken off of his head. That's how egregious the face mask was. If it wasn't, I can't even tell you that I'm confident we would have gotten the call. So here's what we looked at. We looked at a defense that gave up 24 points in the first half. They looked like complete Duke. The offense, conversely, looked fantastic. Fantastic. And that's with drops. The drops started, okay? That was another storyline of the game. The drops. But the offense looked precise. We looked smart. We were clicking. 3-step drops. Quick release. It was exactly what we wanted to see. The offensive line was protecting them for that period of time, which, hey, make the O-line's job easier. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with it? So we saw Zach Wilson's best game as a pro, and even in the second half after the third quarter, he did settle down, and he had a whole bunch of good stuff too. We didn't get in the end zone, and we certainly didn't try a damn field goal. But he looked good. Zach Wilson showed oodles and oodles of progress today. Oodles. Stacking it on top of his second half progress last week. The kid is calming down. The game is slowing down. That's what it looks like to me. It looks like the game is slowing down. Now, Elijah Moore, who is very rapidly becoming our number one weapon, had a great game outside of a couple huge drops. One in particular was so bad, I don't know. It's gross. It is. And when a player's doing so well and has so much talent, it's hard to complain about a drop. It is. But Elijah Moore had 6 receptions for 77 yards and a touchdown on 12 targets. So some of those were Zach. Some of those were Elijah Moore. But the connection, you can see the connection, guys. You can see it. It's growing. The comfort level is there. They're starting to gel. The offense, which is, may I remind you, where we've put our resources of late. Our last 2 years premium draft picks. First and second pick in year 1, the first 4 picks in year 2, in draft 2, plus Corey Davis, Morgan Moses, Keelan Cole. So our offense needs to be clicking, and they are. That's what's good. The offensive line is gelling. AVT is an absolute monster. I haven't rewatched the full game yet, but let me tell you something. There were a handful of plays that I did watch that he was absolutely mauling people. The guy's fantastic. He's fantastic. I can't wait to get Becton back. I can't wait. Now, even on the sack from Morgan Moses, it's one of those things. It was supposed to be a 3-step drop. The play was supposed to be quick. He pushed his guy 5, 7, 8 yards around. Thought the play was over. And he got beat. Brutal sack. But I almost don't blame Moses for that. Almost. I do a little. But so guys, so we're looking at an offense that's starting to put it together. Now, we didn't close the game. So what does this mean? What are we looking at here? We're looking at a group of players. Don't forget, the first chunk of the season, Mike LaFleur was the worst offensive coordinator we had ever seen. Okay? Our guys couldn't get open in space. People were dropping passes. There's fumbles. Zach's getting 15 sacks in first 3 games. It was out of control. The offense has come a long, long way and is the most important piece of this year's build. It's most important because that's where we've put the premium capital. These are the guys that we're going to be rolling forward with. Not that we won't bring in other guys and stack, but guys like Becton, AVT, Zach Wilson, Corey Davis, Elijah Moore, all right? Michael Carter. These are the guys we're rolling with. So the fact that they're starting to put it together is great. But guess what? They don't know how to close out a game yet. They don't know how to play. They don't know how to give us a full game. You see it. Zach's dead in the first half. He comes alive in the second half. Zach gives us his first really good first half, and he crumbles in the third quarter. He can't put it together. He can't do it. He's not there yet. But the progress is there. Now, let's move over to the defense. Well, let me give you some stats. So I told you about Elijah Moore. Let's talk about Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson was 22 for 38. He had at least 4 confirmed drops. I think there were a few more, 4. So that's 28 at 38. Legit drops. Not like ones that you can say, drops. So officially he's 23 of 38, 226 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a terrible pick. Terrible pick. Okay? So that's Zach Wilson's day. Again, if it wasn't for those drops, we're talking about another, let's just say 60 more yards. Honestly, I think it was closer to 100, but 60 more yards. 4 or 5 more receptions, 60 more yards. Who knows if a touchdown's in it? So I know. I get it. I know what I'm doing. But I'm just trying to paint how close it is. You have a young guy that some people are telling me is a bust. They can see it. I'm telling you this kid's a bust. Now, I don't know if he's a bust yet. And you guys know I wasn't on Camp Wilson during the draft. I liked him. I was fine with the pick. I'm not backtracking or anything. But I wasn't the guy rah-rahing Zach Wilson. But come on. He's showing the progress that we all hope to see. That's what it is. It's clearly here. He threw 23 of 38 with at least 4 drops for 226 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. Those are numbers. Those are numbers. The kid can't put the game. They just can't put a full game. Elijah Moore betrayed him. Ty Johnson, Corey Davis, they're all dropping passes. Okay? It's one of those things. The team, they just can't get it together for a full game yet. The only full game I think we played was the Cincinnati Bengals, really. So rushing, it turns out this was going to be the Tevin Coleman show. We didn't know that going in. Everybody was ready for more Austin Walter. I was ready too. I want to see what 2 weeks in a row for this guy looked like because I'm not an Austin Walter fan. I'm not anti-Austin Walter, but I didn't see anything. A lot of people are saying he's this and that. I don't see it. He's fine. Hits the hole nice, good enough. If they like him, that's great. Let's see him. Austin Walter had 1 carry for 2 yards today. 1 carry. Now, even Tevin Coleman, who was our premier back today, only had 11 carries. So they have pretty much abandoned the running game in large part. Tevin Coleman had some really nice runs. 11 rushes, 58 yards, 0 touchdowns with a 5.3 yard average. That's fantastic. Elijah Moore had a rush for 9 yards. Ty Johnson had 1 rush for 1 yard. No LaMichael Pirine. We don't know what this is. We got no LaMichael Pirine out there, the guy who blocks, who's a short yardage back, who's got great hands. He's got it all. They don't want him. They don't like LaMichael Pirine. So we get to see Austin Walter run 1 carry for 2 yards. And same thing with Ty Johnson, 1 for 1. Now, receiving is interesting. Jamison Crowder also had a drop today, but he had 4 receptions for 62 yards on 6 targets. So he had, I think 1 was just he couldn't catch it, but 1 was definitely a drop. Tevin Coleman added 3 catches for 19 yards on 4 targets. Ryan Griffin had a touchdown, as we know, 2 for 15 and a touchdown, and then he got injured. Corey Davis had 2 for 15 on 3 attempts. The other one was a drop. Ty Johnson had 2 for 14. He had a very bad drop. I know there was a little discussion about it was a hard catch. He jumped up and it hit him in his hands. Okay? 0 excuse. I don't want to hear it. I don't. Ty Johnson has dropped, I don't know the number, but he's dropped more than I like to see. I'm not anti-Ty Johnson either, but this guy, he worries me. Feast or famine. He's great 1 minute. He's dropping passes or getting blown up while the quarterback gets sacked the next moment. So I don't know about Ty Johnson. Braxton Berrios, 1 for 11, but had a fantastic impact on special teams. Austin Walter did come in with 2 catches for 9 yards. Kenny Yeboah had 1 attempt, 1 target, nothing. Didn't make it. And Denzel Mims comes in the game after injury. They finally put him in, and they call him for the dumbest penalty. I mean, look, I have to rewatch it. Maybe I'll change my mind. I saw it twice. It looked to me like it was dumb. Like, what is this at this point? Why are we calling that penalty? But that's what he did, and they put him on the bench for a long time because of the one damn play. He comes out, 1 reception, 4 yards, breaking 2 tackles. It's like, I don't know. He's another one. Looks like this coaching staff just doesn't want to give him a shot. That's what I'm seeing. Injuries all over the place. Takes forever to get him on the field and get in any motion, get in any rhythm. So, look, there are things I like and things I don't like, but the piece you cannot deny if you're looking at this objectively is that there is progress. There's progress, and that's what we wanted to see. Now, the defense, again, I'm going to give you the numbers, and you tell me what's real. We are looking at, for whatever reason, our soft zone, we can't cover anybody. We don't cover. We give everybody too much space, and add to the poor schematics that we use. I'm telling you, I look right at it. I can see guys running open. Don't tell me it's the players only. It's not. It's not. I don't even like that we only have 2 linebackers on there against one of the better rushing teams that we're playing. I don't like that either. I think our mindset where defense is concerned is one of 2 things. One, they don't really know how to do this, and they're learning on the job, our coaches. Salah's Salah, but he's letting his coaches do it, whatever. The other thing is they know exactly what they're doing, and they're just specifically allowing their players to make as many mistakes as they have to make en route to knowing this defense inside and out. Either way, it's frustrating to watch. I'll tell you that. But let me give you the numbers. Didn't it feel like Gardner Minshew was tearing us up? Tearing us up. Didn't it feel like that? I just told you, everybody's open all day. They're bobbling passes. Nobody's even there to disrupt it. Gardner Minshew threw 20 of 25 for 242 yards and 2 touchdowns and no picks. Didn't it feel like a lot worse? Why did it feel like a lot worse? I don't know. I just told you Zach Wilson threw for 226. Gardner Minshew threw for 242, excuse me. Now, we rushed for about 70 yards or whatever it was. The Eagles rushed for about 200 yards. So that's where you would like to see the defense, knowing full well this team wants to run, stack in the box. We didn't see it. Very little. Very little. Now, when you add to that we started all the rookies and all the injuries to our front line, Carl Lawson, Vinny Curry, all those guys. Ronald Blair just came back. Bryce Huff is out. All that. When you add all that together, and now you look at the defense that we have on there, the young guys that were looking good, Eccles, Michael Carter, they're banged up. Eccles hasn't played in a couple weeks. You got Javelin Guidry on the outside sharing time with Pinnock, who is clearly not there. So when you talk about having scheme problems, I don't believe we have the right defenses in at the right time. It doesn't look like that to me. And I'm not pretending to be a coach, guys. I know my stuff. I have my limits. But I can see what I see. But when you add to that guys like Eccles, Sherwood, and the like are out, and we're even down another rung, you're not going to be able to overcome it. You're not going to be able to do it. So our offense is unable to put together a complete game. If they did, we win. Because the defense, with all their issues today, guys, and believe me, I'm not happy or psyched about our defensive performance. They clamped down and held the Eagles to 9 second-half points. No touchdowns. That's all you can ask. Really. Now, you'd like to see him get off the damn field, and that's where the officials come in. There was a couple times where we stopped them, man, and the penalties that they're calling on us are not weighed properly on the counter by the calls that go against the other team. Look, I hate complaining about it, but it's getting bad. The penalty on Bryce Hall on 3rd and 9 was ridiculous. We held them. And they got to go down there and the whole thing. We had to hold them on for 4 downs. They went 4 downs all the time. Why? Because they're saying we don't respect this defense. That's what they were doing all day. And we held them. Turnover on downs from the 3-yard line. So guys, while I'm not happy with the defense by any means, you have to give credit where credit is due. You have to do it. If you don't want to, fine. But I'm going to. We held them to 9 second-half points with terrible penalty baloney that we were trying to overcome. You saw Robert Saleh. What's been one of the knocks on him this year? He's passionless. We expected a lot of passion, and he doesn't look like that. He's stoic on the sideline. Did you see that today? He lost his damn mind today. Why? Because he's had it. He's had it with unfair games. He's had it. We were all seeing it. He was seeing it. And he lost his marbles because he couldn't take it anymore. And I'm grateful for that. Thank you. I hope that he breaks protocol and says it again and eats the fine. I saw a tweet right before I started recording. I retweeted it. I requoted it. It said, hoorah! Woody Johnson, allow your coach to go out there and call the NFL out, and when he gets fined, you pay it. That's what we should be doing. Let him speak. Speak on it, Saleh. So the defense clamped down. Perfect? No. Sloppy? Yes. Not as good as I want? Absolutely. But they did it. The problem was our offense can't complete a full game yet because they're young and inexperienced and playing with each other for the first season. Look, 33-18. It's hard to sugarcoat 33 points. And that's not necessarily what I'm trying to do. But I'm trying to call it in reality. I know our emotions can get high. I know it. But what I see out here is a lot of progress all over the place. The second half, the defense clamped down. If the offense scores 2 touchdowns or something, this is a game. But no, they couldn't do anything. The defense was on that long penalty-ridden drive, and we come out 3 plays later, we're punting, and the defense is back out there. I mean, we're not helping the cause. Miles Sanders had 120 yards rushing. Couldn't stop him at all. Gainwell even had 54 yards. We're talking 5 yards, 4.5 yard averages. Even Minshew, when he ran, he had 2.8 yards, 4 for 11. Dallas Goedert, 105 yards. And this is when I talk about schematics. We haven't figured out how to cover that tight end, screen, quick slant. We haven't figured out how to do it. And that's what I'm talking about. I don't believe that our players who are already at a disadvantage, either whether they're rookies or just not as talented, because we haven't put our premium capital there since Joe Douglas took over. We're already at a disadvantage. We have to play and we have to call games that accentuate our strengths, that hide our weaknesses. And I don't see that. So, again, we have essentially a rookie defensive coordinator. You're going to see it. You're going to see it. Now, again, guys, I'm not happy with this game, but it's not as bad as you think. Now, after the game, we heard some little fireworks. C.J. Mosley said that London Fletcher was laughing at Robert Saleh. Now, because when he was losing his mind, he was laughing at him. And C.J. Mosley said it pisses him off. Yeah, I think it should. He said that they didn't even shake their hand in the kickoff. The coin toss. Why wouldn't they do that? What's that all about? What is that? So I don't know what it is. I don't know what it means. I know it's disrespect. And then when they went for it on every fourth, there's a certain tone here. What I would like to see, rather than talking about it in press conferences, which, hey, I'm happy you're talking about it. You don't got to eat that. Let the world know. I'm with it. At the same time, at some point, we have to stop complaining that teams are running up the score, or that they're disrespecting our coach, or they're disrespecting this, or they're hitting our quarterback late and we're not getting help from the refs. At some point, we have to put our feet down as men, as a team, and say enough, and play with every last ounce of energy that you have in your body. Everything. You got enough energy to laugh with the guys and trade jerseys after the damn game? You should be putting it out on the field, especially when they're disrespecting you like that. Not one push-shove match. Like, what is this? So it's an interesting thing. I'm really curious about a couple things. One is, how are we going to bounce back? Okay, we play the Saints next week. This has been a bipolar team, guys. Look, we got shut out by the Broncos, 26-0. We come back and we beat the Titans. Then we get shellacked in New England, 54-13. And then we come back and beat the Bengals. Then we lose a tight one to Miami, which a game that we could have won. And we come back and beat the Texans, and we come out and do this today. Guys, to me, it looks clearly like a big bunch of youth and inexperience trying to piece it together. They can at times. We haven't seen a full game yet, really. Bengals game was kind of, but we haven't seen a full game yet. Either they're terrible in the first half and come back in the second, or vice versa. But it looks like a team that is young, inexperienced, doesn't know how to overcome adversity yet. And I see no reason to feel worse today than we did after the Miami loss, after the New England loss. I mean, it's later in the season, so you could be tired of it, sure. But I don't see it. Now, people said that Ulbrich has to be fired. Maybe. Do you think it's going to happen? I don't. So I don't like to, I don't know. It seems like, again, they've had good defensive games. I don't think that he's doing that good of a job, but I don't think he's getting fired. They're going to give these guys their year. They're going to do it. More than likely, they're going to give him 2 years. Joe Douglas is going to give Ulbrich and Saleh a couple premium defensive guys, more than likely at least one edge guy in this draft, a premium edge. And they're going to see how it goes. They're going to get Carl Lawson back. They're going to get an Aiden Hutchinson or a Thibodeau or an a Karloftis, somebody like that. They're going to get one of those guys, and either Hamilton, Stingley, they're going to get somebody. Sauce Gardner, they're going to do one of these things. They're going to give the defense that. Bryce Hall and Gardner with maybe Hutchinson and Lawson. You see with Huff and JFM rotating. It's a different deal. Eccles coming in the dime. So they're going to give it to him. This is the season of mistakes, trial and error. And honestly, guys, we saw an offense come out and light it up and a defense that couldn't stop a nosebleed. And the defense came out. Granted, they weren't like getting them off the field like we'd like to see, but they clamped down. And they had a large mountain to overcome. There were some terrible calls. Terrible. We're on our way. Now, you don't have to buy it. I understand. But for me, as unhappy as I am with the result and how that second half just seemed to drag on, as I look back at it, I'm seeing the progress I want to see. Zach Wilson is important. Elijah Moore is important. I wish Michael Carter was out there. We'll get him back before the end of the season, hopefully. AVT is a damn stud muffin. Connor McGovern's playing well. Fant's playing well. We got to see what happened to Dr. Blocker. We got to see what happened to him. I don't know. But there's a lot of things happening for us. So, that's where I am with all this stuff. Now, we'll talk about the storylines as we move through the week, I'm sure. We'll go through all of it. But for right now, we're 3-9. We hold the 4th overall draft pick and the 5th overall draft pick with the Seahawks. We did the old flip-a-roon, and it didn't change a thing this week. The Seahawks squeaked it out. The Jets didn't. So our picks are still 4 and 5. Detroit won. So they're coming. If they can win 2 or 3 games, man. Okay. I'm not rooting for losses this year. I'm not going to do it all year. Maybe the last game or something like that, depending on what we're looking at. But I want to see our team progress, and I'm seeing it. I hope you are too. I hope when the emotions burn off, you can look at this objectively and say, you know what? We are seeing it. It's sloppy. Like when Zach Wilson's on, like I said, if those 4, I think there were 4 at least. I know there were at least 4, but maybe 5. Those 4 passes are caught. If those penalties don't go, we were close today. It doesn't feel like it. I know it. The defense held them to 9 points in the second half. That's progress from the first half. It just looked so terrible. Now we could have gone into the half 24-21 if we had a freaking kicker. So I think we should go sign Borregales. That's my solution. I mean, look, you've tried everything else, man. Go grab the number 1 kicker in the country last year. He's sitting there. Tomorrow, call the Bucks and say, I'm taking him. You just did it with Elijah Riley. You had no problem grabbing a 5th-string safety. You know what I mean? Go grab a potential number 1 kicker. I don't know what this Kessman crap is. So what do you think, guys? What do you think? Can you not find it in yourselves to see the positive? I understand if you can't. I do. But that's what this season is. Remember last week when we were complaining about the win? Remember that? Seems like years, doesn't it? Remember, when we win, enjoy it. Because we're only getting a handful this year. We're only getting a handful. So let me know what you think in the comments. Again, don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to be entered in the contest. Sub right here. And sub to Full-Time Coaster Tour, my other channel. I got a couple videos coming out this week. They are done. Couple coming out this week. I just put up my American Carousel video number 1 with Cedar Point's carousel, the history of it and all that sort of stuff. I'm doing a whole series on carousels in addition to the coasters and all that. So if you go, you sub there, you sub here, you're in the contest. You want an additional entry, go to my Instagram full-time. No, go to my Instagram, GreenBeanjetsfan, and follow me there, and you will get a second entry. And guys, let's continue to talk. Let's continue to see what we think. It's almost that time of year where we start talking about the future And that'll be a welcome change, I imagine. But we only have a few weeks of football left. Let's try to enjoy it. Let's try to watch what we're watching. Let's try to pay attention to what we're seeing. It's not as bad as it feels. That I can assure you. Don't forget, I love you. And I'll see you next time. And as always, go Jets.